sacred circuitry. You all have diagrams of some, just a few, of the sacred circuits. What this is a reference to is a particular tool, a particular technique, a particular reflective idea that is unique in a very specific way. Most times what we have shared with you as tools and techniques and permission slips have come from our own society's understandings, our own society's applications of these principles that we discuss with you. While we have ourselves adopted and adapted this idea within our society, this particular technique comes as a gift, as a sharing, handed down from other societies in creation. We will only go so far back as to say that while it did not originate with them, what is relevant to this particular interaction is that this particular technique was also adopted and adapted by the civilization, the physical civilization in the star system of Sirius, and handed down to the hybrid civilization that we have already spoken of, that we call the first ones, the Shalanaya or the Yael, who have handed it down to our civilization, the Sasani people, and now we hand it down to you. So this is the first time that we are sharing a technique, a tool, a permission slip, a gift, handed down as a gift from other civilizations in a specific succession. And you are next in line to receive this gift, this sharing. So we bequeath this now to you, to make it your own, to adopt it and adapt it to your own imaginings, your own civilization. So while we will give you some brief instruction as to how perhaps to utilize this particular permission slip, please understand that in time you may also rely upon your own imagination, the conduit between your physical mind and higher mind, your spirit guides, your synchronicities, your own understandings of the choices that you have made to experience this reality. You may rely on these things to adapt this idea, this tool, in whatever way, shape, or form suits you best, individually and collectively. But the basic idea is that it will tap into, like many permission slips, the collective consciousness and unconsciousness of your civilization, the collective world spirit of your civilization, and that is why, even though you may adapt it in a very personal manner, it will have some effect on most of you, even though it is a permission slip, and you are giving yourself permission by simply using this as a reflection to become more of yourselves. It will key into those things that are extremely common with most of you, because it taps right into the idea of the wiring of the brain, the neurological wiring of your brains. As we have said before, there are 3 levels to the idea of the reception of information in the idea of physical reality. There is the higher mind, which is the conceiver. There is the physical brain, which is the receiver, the antenna. And there is the physical mind, which is the perceiver of the experience. This permission slip, this gift, this sharing handed down, is specifically designed to assist you in rewiring and adapting your receiver, your antenna, your brain, your physical brain, in such a manner as to allow for many different things, one of which is greater communication between your physical mind and higher mind, allowing your brain to become not just superconductive, but hyperconductive, allowing information to go smoothly, effortlessly, in both directions, from physical to higher, from higher to physical. Thus acting also more as a network, allowing you to associate more readily, tap into and access more information more readily, gain perspectives that allow for broader understanding of various levels of your reality experience, that allow you to tap into broader capability at perceiving other levels of reality, other dimensions of experience. Of course, as we have also said, each and every thought you have changes the wiring of your brain, and based specifically on what we spoke of last night of your time in terms of shifting through parallel realities. The idea being that you are truly a different person, a new person, literally, every moment. The idea of learning how to consciously rewire your brains in specific ways will allow you more efficacy in becoming the person that you wish to become, that you prefer to become, who you prefer to be. And thus then, along with that, the attendant parallel reality that is reflective of that state. Now, as you gaze at the first 15 of the sacred circuits, and there are many, many more, but we will start here. We will keep it simple. The idea, first and foremost, one way that you can begin to utilize these would be to take some time, on your own time, to turn each and every one of these into its own, as you call them, flashcard, individually. 15 flashcards, each one with one symbol and one word upon it. As you thus create these flashcards, 1 to 15, with each attendant circuit and attendant word, the idea would be to sit in a quiet and meditative way, a relaxed and peaceful way, in an environment that you find relaxing and peaceful, with music if you wish, with colors if you wish, however you wish it to be, that to you represents a peaceful state, without interruption. The idea being that you will take and gaze at each one of these in succession, in order, 1 minute a card for 15 minutes. Do this 3 days in a row. 1 card at a time, 1 minute per card, in order, 1 through 15 for 15 minutes. And as you simply gaze and ponder and allow your mind to drift, and just absorb the idea of the shape, just absorb the idea of the attendant concept, without thinking, without analyzing, just let it in, just gaze at it, just let your eyes be the true windows to your soul, your spirit, your mind, and everything else. Bless you. Allow yourselves the opportunity to just sit with these shapes and know that as you do so, what they are doing is that they are specifically designed to allow the neurological circuitry in your brain to rewire itself to be representative of each and every one of these symbolic shapes, so that it may function in accord with the concept that is attendant to this shape. And overall, over the course of these first 15, allow you to more holistically function in a hyperconnective, hyperconductive, associative, accessing way to knowledge, information about yourself, about the cosmos, about all that is, in whatever way, shape, or form is appropriate for you as an individual aspect of creation. After you have done it 3 days in a row, in order, 1 through 15 each time, thereafter, you may do it in any order you so desire, any order you are attracted to, whatever it is in that sense you are wishing to focus on, you may do it in that way. And you do not necessarily have to even do them all. You may find yourself sometimes gravitating to simply 1, 2, or 3, or more in any given day. The idea, however, is that how many ever you decide on any given single day, and you do not need to do this more than once a day, you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times. I would not suggest you do it more. The idea is that you need to allow your brain time to adapt, time to incorporate, time to absorb, time to crystallize these effects, these adaptations, these circuits. So, start slow, start soft, let it take whatever time it is natural for it to take. And if you only do less than 15 on any given day, after you do the first 3 days in the order in which they come, then allow yourself again at any given sitting, even if you're only using 1, to not do it for more than 15 minutes. As we have spoken of before, in the session that we entitled 15 Minutes and Counting, and as you have observed and will observe with the meditation that is attendant to the holotope experience, 15 minutes is the time frame in your reality that best suits the absorption of information and the alteration and the rewiring of the brain for a specific task. Longer than that is really not efficient. Longer than that can actually, in some senses, before it is, in that sense, absorbed appropriately and adapted appropriately, before it is crystallized, can actually allow you to lose the effect a little bit. So keep it simple, keep it short, always keep it to 15 minutes. You do not need more than that, guaranteed. So, take a moment now. We don't have to spend the 15 minutes doing it, but just take a moment now, starting on the first page, to simply take a few seconds to gaze at each one in order, 1 through 15. This is just by way now of introducing your brain to the concept. You are making now a formal introduction to allow your brain to know what's coming, because the physical mind loves to know what's coming. So we will give it its due at the moment and give it a little bit of preparation. Look at number 1. Just number 1. Just take a moment and say hello to each symbol and form an associative, loving, peaceful, exciting, creative, playful energy with each symbol. Look at number 2. Do the same. Just 1 or 2 breaths with each symbol is all that is necessary, maybe 3 breaths. Take a moment, look at number 3. Let the symbol fill your gaze, fill your mind, feel it. In a sense, being recognized and acknowledged by your physical mind, by your brain. If you even wish to feel a sensation or create a sensation of the circuitry in your brain actually rewiring itself as you do this, that's fine, for this is the beginning of the permission slip, even in this simple form. Look at number 4. Allow yourself to familiarize the shape in your mind. Look at number 5. Take a breath. Take 2. Flip over to number 6. And understand, of course, again, that it is no accident. These are broken down into 5s. 5 being the number of humanity. This is one of the adaptations specifically for your civilization. So all the times we will introduce these circuits and more of them later on to you, they will always be given to you in clusters of 5. So look at number 6. Look at number 7. Allow yourself to drift to number 8. Ponder and explore the shapes of number 9 and number 10 at whatever rate you are comfortable with. You do not have to follow exactly the pace at which we are moving. Just take a moment to sit with it. And then go ahead and flip, if you wish, to 11. Allow yourselves to feel the expansiveness that comes with that symbol. Allow yourself to flip to number 12 in your mind. And feel the activity that comes with that. Allow yourself to ponder number 13, the great transformer. That which is the crucible that allows for all change in a smooth and effortless way. Then ponder, if you will, number 14, the great, in that sense, connector. To reinforce and recrystallize and establish your connection to all things. And then, last but certainly not least, the great manifestation. That which allows you to see all things coming into play, all things finding their appropriate place and time and timing. All the things you're already connected to suddenly being capable of appearing to you in your sight, because you have expanded your frequency and thus are capable of seeing what was heretofore invisible to you. For that is all manifestation is the making visible which is already here, that which is invisible before. So thus then now you have this tool, this technique, this gift, this sharing, this permission slip. Do not worry about how you recreate these symbols on your flashcards. You may do them by hand. It is one of the reasons we instructed the channel, when we downloaded this information to him, to leave them as hand-drawn symbols. You do not need to make them any more precise. You can if you wish to. You may doll them up, decorate them up, in any way, shape, or form you so desire, as long as the basic symbol is maintained intact. You may make them more precise, or you may simply hand draw them as you see here. They will always work. It does not matter. And in some senses, in particular, in actual fact, if you actually hand draw them to the best of your ability, it will actually be more strongly connected to your circuitry, because you did it with your circuitry, more directly, more, shall we say, naturally. Again, it is up to you. If you feel a stronger kinship with them by rendering them via some form of computer art or what have you, that is up to you. But just allow yourself to sense whether the symbols thus then feel a little bit removed, or whether they still feel a part of you, an extension of you, and capable of being related to by you in a natural way. That is what is most important. That you truly form a relationship with each and every one of these symbols. Each and every one is like a little autonomous being, with its own consciousness, its own vibration, its own reality, its own awareness, and it is willing to form a relationship with you and express itself as an imprint, an encodation in your brain, in your neurological circuitry, to aid and assist you in being a smooth receiver, an expanded antenna, and to help facilitate, through the conduit of imagination and inspiration, a greater dialogue, a clearer dialogue, an active dialogue, and an active partnership between your physical mind and higher mind, using the facilitator of your brain, your receiver, your antenna. One moment, we have a guest who wishes to say a few words. Greetings. Greetings. I am the primary facilitator for the Sasani homeworld. What you would recognize in your future as the replacement for what you now call government, which we do not have. We have only those that assist in the facilitation of the synchronicity that exists within the telepathic bond between all of our race. We are speaking with you this day in this way because of this gift that our world passes down to you. And in this way allows you to become more connected with us as you become more connected with yourselves. We extend to you, all of you, our deep appreciation at being willing to become part of our family, our extended family in this way. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our family. By this gift, you will find yourselves from time to time, quite literally. By this gift, you will find yourselves from place to place, quite literally. With this gift, you will find space and time more flexible, more malleable. You will find shifts in your perceptions and your perspectives that will line up more truly with your fundamental selves, your core being, the aspects of your creatorhood, and more flow with your synchronicity. In particular, pay attention to the glyph, the circuit that is the circuit called flow. For when you arrive in pondering the circuit called flow, you will be specifically accelerating the energy of all that flows to you and all that flows from you. And as you align with this flow, you will more readily receive and you will more readily give that vibration that is translated in your reality as unconditional love. And as you are more willing to stand in the path, in the tunnel, in the conduit, in the pipeline of that flow, you will find yourselves becoming expanded in very specific ways that may allow you to catch glimpses of other realities that are concurrent with your own, that have relevance and meaning synchronistically for you, and may illuminate more readily, and may illuminate more clearly your particular choices for this life, and may assist you in recalling, reawakening the choices that you made for this physical reality, so as to more clearly illuminate the path you have chosen to be, and more clearly grant you understanding, true, fundamental understanding of why it is obvious to act upon your joy every moment that you have been granted existence and life. And allow your experience to be undifferentiated from what and who you are. For you are the experience you are having itself. You are the experience all that is having of itself. Have a grand experience with this gift. Once again, we welcome you to our family. We welcome you to our society, as you have welcomed us to yours. We salute you. We give you back your tutor. This is a time when you have arrived at a place where this being we call the primary facilitator thus then gives his 3 cents and thus then acts as a demarcation that is another marker, another milestone on the path of contact, and allows you to know that you have expanded to the point to use this greeting from him as a barometer, to know that you have arrived at a point where you are now taking a step to another level, expanding to another level, to another accelerative level that will allow for more contact to begin to occur in a variety of ways. So do not be surprised, or if you wish to be surprised, go right ahead. And the idea of contact and the rate at which it occurs will no longer be based on the idea of our hands-off policy. It will totally be based on the rate at which you yourselves deem you are ready for open contact by your actions, by the things you do in your world, by the changes you create within yourself and the responses that occur within yourself to whatever is going on your planet. From that point forward, and what you call that particular demarcation point, the end of the old cycle, the beginning of the new. So, we give you this tool, this day, as a particular special present to mark this birth and rebirth of yourselves as new people in a new reality with a different history and a completely different future that you are creating from a completely different present. Yay. So congratulations. Thank you for applauding yourselves. At this timing, we may begin with explorations, questions, and discussions that are pertinent and germane to the ideas we have expounded upon herein.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Happy Father's Day.
We thank you.
I really feel...
Thank you, children.
I really feel your fatherly, paternal energy around me so often, and I wanted to share with you the joy I'm feeling in my life. I know we've been together since the beginning, and this is a real roller coaster, and I'm so delighted with this gift that you've given us today.
You are so lighted.
Thank you.
Not delighted, lighted.
I am extremely lighted, and thank you for pointing that out. And I'm just living my excitement, and Create Now is exploding and going global, and just amazing things happening.
Thank you.
And at the same time, I'm still sweating out paying my rent and dealing with that.
That is all right. Again, the understanding as we have expressed it is that as you act upon your highest joy, you are thus by your highest vibration always first and foremost given the opportunity to explore any beliefs that you may be holding on to that are out of alignment with your truth. Thus, then, this is a sparkling opportunity to understand how to truly respond differently to what is going on apparently outside of you, not that it really is outside of you, but to respond differently to it even if it looks the same as it did before, which is the mark of true change, not that the outside changes.
Exactly. I feel like instead of having the fear of not being supported, I keep hearing what you say about what you have, what you need when you need it. And I
Yes.
feel extremely abundant right now and excited. And I feel like I'm at the top of the roller coaster and it's at the highest peak ever.
Yes.
And it's like jumping off a cliff.
Yes.
But I feel secure and supported, and that's
All
the
right.
difference.
Thank you
And-
for allowing yourself to truly change and respond differently to the exterior illusion.
Well, I have two questions about this handout that you gave us.
Oh, all right.
I feel that I'm going to definitely do this 3-day thing, but when I start to focus on the end, I feel like I'm at the point of manifestation.
Yes.
So can I focus on that card more than the others, or do you
For the
recommend?
first 3 days, we would suggest you do it in the way we have suggested. Thereafter, it is your game.
Okay, so I could focus on the higher
There
ones.
is a purpose to doing it the way that we have suggested for the first 3 days.
I understand. The other question I had is that I noticed that the glyphs at the end include the triangle for the last two.
Yes.
And that's also the shape of the Essassani craft and other craft like the Phoenix Lights.
Yes, it is.
So is that a synchronicity? Thank you. Thank you again, Bashar, for everything.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you good day.
Thank you for being here. My son is 25, and over the past year, he has had 2 psychotic, or what they call bipolar or schizoaffective episodes.
This particular handout can actually be of assistance to those kinds of conditions. If the being is capable and willing of performing the exercise as we have outlined it, you may actually find they are capable of rewiring their brains and rearranging the chemical constituents of their bodies in such a manner and to such an effect that it may bring balance back to that individual. It may take some degree of time, perhaps what you would call anywhere from 30 to 90 of your days, but it can be done if the individual is consistent in the utilization every day, 15 minutes every day, of this particular tool. This is a profoundly deep and powerful an effective tool for anything that has to do with the wiring and the neurological circuits of the brain.
Thank you, Bashar. Is this the best way for me to help him also?
It is one way.
Okay.
We will leave it up to your imagination to create a dialogue between your higher mind and your physical mind to determine other ways that may also work. Also, you can find that for this kind of condition that you call bipolar, and also for the condition physiologically that you call epilepsy, the idea of allowing the person to be in a meditative state while having them follow your finger in the infinity symbol can actually also be, for 15 minutes, something that will cause great reparation and healing. Allowing their eyes to follow this allows you to utilize and balance both hemispheres of the brain and allow them to come together through the center point, the corpus callosum, which in that sense is the prime receiver and the prime organizer of all information that is then dispensed and dispersed through and throughout the antenna and receiver of the brain. Do you follow?
Yes.
And as you do this, and as you form a stronger link between physical and higher mind, you will then be creating more capability of receiving inspirations to also aid and assist yourself and your child.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
You were talking about remembering contact and opening to more contact.
Yes.
Yesterday morning, I had a dream. I was sitting at a coffee shop. Been there a long time. Felt hands on my thing. I thought it was on my shoulders. I thought it was the waitress telling me to move along. Looked around. Nothing was there.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, they grabbed me and started lifting me.
Yes.
I didn't know who it was or what they wanted, but is it a memory or is it like a test to see if I'm more ready or?
It is more the idea of spirit guide assisting you in realizing that you have the propensity and capacity to more solidly and concretely feel the upliftment of energy. And that can translate in that way as a feeling that you are rising. Do you understand?
Yes, wow.
It is to some degree connected with some of your contacts, but that particular facilitation was handled by a spirit guide.
It didn't have anything to do with SIBO.
Oh, it has something to do with SIBO, but that particular facilitation was coordinated and handled by your spirit guide.
And can you tell me what SIBO's part was?
The idea of allowing you to get in touch with that aspect of yourself that connects to his particular energy, to add it to the mix, so that in combination, all those energies, when they are holistically experienced, will give you that feeling of lightening up, of levitation. Do you understand?
Yes. Is there some reason it was scary in that case?
Because, as we have already said, anytime you get in touch with that pure energy that represents your highest vibration, the first and foremost thing it does is point out what doesn't belong in that energy. Remember, as the analogy we have given before, a long time ago in your technology, you had internal combustion engines that were very, very simple, what you call very, very crude mechanically. And in that sense, they could chug along and chug along and chug along, even if they were filthy. But now in your modern high-tech era, you have high-speed engines that are machined with high-tolerance precision, and thus then the smallest speck of dirt will freeze the entire operation until you clear it out. So too, the idea of refining your vibration. As you refine your vibration, the idea of what doesn't align with your true vibration will stand out in a much more magnified way, even if it is the smallest deviation from your truth, will now seem to be a huge deviation because it is so magnified by being compared to everything else that is operating so much more smoothly. So dealing with that, integrating it, and allowing that energy to be transformed back into part of the smooth operation is the point of being shown the things that are out of phase with your truly preferred vibration. Make sense?
Yes.
SIBO says, hi.
Hi, SIBO.
And, of course, SIBO being in our ancient language the number 4, 13, you can know that his symbol specifically is associated with that symbol of transformation, number 13.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is actually the 3rd triangular symbol.
Ooh, very good. The other contact I had this week, other times I've interacted with the kids. I've just seen forms or just knew they were there, but this week I actually saw a face.
Yes, all right. Well, again, as we have said, as you expand and increase your ability to see deeper into other realities, they will actually become more visible, more concrete to you. So this is an indication that your senses are beginning to penetrate beyond the veil of what was heretofore invisible to you, and you're starting to see more flickers of the parallel reality stream, and thus more capable of actually having your senses extend into those other realities sufficiently to allow them to appear more solid to your senses.
Can you tell me which child it was?
No, I cannot.
Okay. Maybe you can't tell me this either. I got a big download from either the 17-year-old or the 15-year-old of these really beautiful, several pieces of incredible artwork.
Oh, all right. And what will you do with that download?
Make my own. They won't be as beautiful, but can you tell me which of the two it was?
Why?
Because I'm writing a script, and
oh, I see.
I would like to know.
And you need detail.
Yes.
Well, why not ask them?
Okay.
Do the technique, open your conduit, and use it to facilitate stronger communication with whomever you wish to communicate.
Okay.
That's the point.
Right.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar, good day.
Good day to you.
Thank you so much for letting me assist in the events lately.
Well, I didn't let you.
I let me.
Yes.
Enjoying it very much.
Thank you.
So remembering, recalling, rebirthing, would regeneration then, of course,
Yes.
be a part of
Yes.
this process?
Yes. Although, again, remember that when we say re to any of these things, it is simply a euphemism that we are using of your language to instill a certain thought. But everything is actually new the first time, in a sense. So it is just in that sense a birthing, a generation, a membering.
Yes.
Because every moment you are really a new person.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for that
Yes.
information.
For that reminder.
That reminder, right. Two things, well, a few things.
Yes.
In terms of muscle atrophy, say, and hormonal rebalancing,
Yes.
would any of these sacred circuits
Yes.
be more?
Yes.
And
And you will find out which one they are when you go through the process as we have described it.
Okay.
We have given you, even though it's only 15 of the many, many circuits that exist, we've given you a sufficient enough kit that you will find it will generally be sufficient for many of the things that you wish to apply this idea to in your lives. Find out after you do the 3 days in the order in which we have already instructed. Find out which other ones you gravitate towards, and it will reveal itself to you as to which is appropriate for the various applications to which you may wish to apply this technique.
wonderful.
You must really, all of you, begin to learn, to understand you are truly forming a relationship with a sentient tool. It is sentient. It's aware. It's an autonomous being. It will actually begin to talk to you. You must understand these symbols as beings. This is, in a sense, again, we understand, and please understand, this is again a symbol, a euphemism, a colloquialism. If you wish to put it this way, these structures are like the skeletal neurological forms, the skeletal neurological x-rays of nature spirits. Commune with them. They will commune with you. They are archetypal aspects, archetypal attributes of your collective consciousness. You can actually create dialogue with them. That's why we used your word relationship. You are really forming a relationship with actual sentience, with autonomous little beings. Cherish them, love them, work with them, play with them. They will teach you. They will talk with you. They will tell you what you need to know. For they will know what it is you need to know because they are patterned along the lines of your neurological circuitry. They will be able to link, synchronize with your circuitry and know what it is you need to know. So let them be your crystal balls. All right?
Yes, I like that. Thank you.
Yes.
In terms of, say, someone who has Asperger's, my ex-boyfriend's son has Asperger's. And
Yes.
Is there, say, in dealing with the sacred circuits, if you begin to embody them,
Yes.
as you stand in front of another,
Yes.
embodying that particular circuit,
Yes.
can you transmit?
It can be done that way for those of you who find yourself in a position where that is truly representative of your highest, most exciting, creative way of expressing these things. For others, it may simply be simpler to allow the other to see the circuits themselves. You will have to determine for yourself which it is for you.
For this particular boy who's so extraordinary, is there any way that I could assist him further?
You will use your imagination in this, yes?
Yes.
Well, then, there you go.
Okay.
Again, please understand, as you partake of this exercise, it will open up a dialogue between not only you and these autonomous beings, but between your physical mind and your higher mind to such a greater degree of communication that these things will answer themselves when you just put your mind to it. As you gain facility with this technique, you will find that you will access the information you need very rapidly. When you simply ask the question, the answer will be there. All right?
Wonderful.
So part of the reason we are giving this to you is so that you can answer your own questions with this tool, with this permission slip.
Okay.
All right?
May I ask one more?
I don't know. Can you?
Yes.
All right.
Bashar, now that I am this new spanking new person,
Yes.
I was wanting to avail myself of you being in front of me to ask if there was any assistance that I could personally have on my path as a creative and spiritual.
You are always, all of you are always being flowed assistance. It isn't about asking for assistance. It is always being given. It's about whether you are capable of perceiving the assistance you're already getting. So open up to the fact, number one, that you're already being given assistance and you do not have to ask for it or invite it. It's already being given freely and unconditionally to you. All you need to do is tap into the flow of what's already coming and become more aware of it. And such ideas as the permission slip we have shared with you today is one of the forms of assistance that we recognize you can use.
Okay.
So we have shared what is already appropriate in this regard for this moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Well, I have a couple of questions.
All right, speak up and be bold so that all may hear you.
Okay, question number one. So he gave us 15 symbols.
Yes.
We said that there are many, many more.
There are.
Is there any way for us to access those other symbols?
My goodness. Sufficient unto the day is the knowledge thereof. What is your hurry?
Well,
Do you think if we thought it was important at this time for you to have them, we would have withheld them?
no, not by any means.
All right. Then use what you've already been given and gain facilitation with them before you will be ready for more.
Okay.
The first 15 will help you get ready for the rest, because the next series is an order of magnitude greater in terms of the effect it will create in your neurological rewiring. You're not ready for that yet. Giving you even the 16th symbol would actually cause the idea of burnout. You follow?
Yeah.
This is done in stages for a reason, because we have simply taken a reading of the collective consciousness and gauged what the collective consciousness is now willing to absorb in a manner that befits what is best for all concerned. If, however, you find that you do the technique in the way that we have suggested, and you find yourself gaining facility with it, you may find that if and when you are truly ready for the next set of symbols, again, you may find yourself capable of downloading them on your own, which is part of the point. Make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Well, another question. So there are a whole bunch of other symbols out there.
Speak up.
There are a whole bunch of other symbols out there.
Out there. No, they're all right here. It's just that right now, your collective reality says it is willing to allow these 15 to be visible.
Okay. Are there some that relate to us personally? Like, do we have our own personal symbols?
Yes. And most of them will be expressed as a combination of some of the symbols we have given you. Learning how to connect them to form your own sigil, your own emblem, your own badge is also part of the process, part of the fun. So play with them, mix and match after you've done the first 3 days, in the order in which they come. Start to play with them. As we said, let your imagination be your guide.
Okay.
All right?
I have time for one more question.
Well, that was a question, so I guess you did.
Okay. Another one.
Oh, all right.
When you talk about finding or following your highest excitement, is there a way to better to have yourself be more sensitive to what your highest excitement is? Basically, what I find is that I find it hard to tune myself to which option is the most exciting.
If you have made a true assessment that two options seem to have equal excitement, it is very rare that both options would actually have equal capability of you taking action on them to the same degree. Take action on the one you can take the furthest.
Oh.
All right?
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I noticed right away when I was looking at the symbols that although I confess I don't have a profound familiarity with Native American pictographs, I've seen enough to think that these symbols, some of them bear a striking resemblance to the pictographs.
Don't they, though? They also bear a striking resemblance to other things, but we will see who can suss that out.
Well, these symbols are also found heavily in the designs of Tibetan rugs,
Yes.
woven rugs, for example.
Yes. Anything else?
Well, would you like to say a little bit about that, please?
Well, obviously, individuals on your planet who have allowed themselves to become more fully aligned in their true selves will obviously have the capability of accessing these symbols.
Well, could it also be that there was visitation long, long ago and they were left?
Yes. Did I not already say that at least one path, one place on the path through which these were handed down were those beings that you call those that issue from the Sirius star system?
Right.
So yes, that too. Are you having fun?
Yes.
All right, just checking.
Greetings, Bashar.
And to you, good day. Speak up.
Would you please expand when you said that the physical mind receives the download from
No, the brain receives.
Well,
the physical mind perceives. The
Okay.
higher mind conceives.
All right. How is that all related when Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within?
You are all that is. Everything you need is accessible within yourself. All information, all energy, all knowledge, because you are an aspect of creation, an aspect of God. You understand?
Yes.
So everything you need is accessible within your own consciousness, within your own framework. And that the outside, what you call the outside, is just an illusion. So he was reminding you that the outside is nothing but a reflection. Everything actually is accessed from within. Outside is nothing more than a reflection in a mirror. When you look at a reflection in a glass mirror and you see your face in that mirror, if your reflection is frowning, you don't go over to the reflection in the mirror and attempt to make the reflection smile. You must change the smile on your face. You must change within. But when you do, the reflection will also smile back.
Yes.
That is what is meant by that.
Okay.
You understand?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
You also mentioned that after the 2012, we crossed the threshold where we tip the scale to a more positive
Yes.
than negative, and I just
Yes.
want to know because
There will be slightly more positive energy than negative
Yeah.
after that date in your collective world.
because what I came to think that maybe perhaps we are awakening more, that we are part
Yes.
of that oneness. That's,
Yes.
Well, that's what you mean.
Yes.
But by tipping the scale, right?
More of you, enough of you are aware of that, are more aligned with that idea that you are one. And that number of you that becomes aware of that is now sufficient after that date to tip the scale.
All right.
And from there, it can help accelerate it, snowball it to more and more spiraling positive energy.
Okay, thank you. And how can I be more of a guidance or an example when I see children that they are so exciting playing those violent games or watching even the Disney Channel, where sometimes it doesn't seem to be very
Turn
positive.
the issue around and start rewarding them for creating and constructing positive community rather than destruction. They are now being rewarded for creating destruction. Reward them for creating construction. Remind them that if they really wish to express power, true power is in creating. It takes no power to destroy.
Okay.
You can have a stack of blocks. It takes more power to build the stack than it does to push it over. You understand?
Yes.
So you can begin to teach them and reinvent games that entrain them to understand that they will be more rewarded and more expansive in their abilities by being rewarded for creating and building connection and community than by destroying and disassembling in that way. You follow?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you
right.
very much.
Yes.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Wanted to ask about my mom. She
One
has-
moment. As a continuation of the response to the last question, you can also remind the children that everything is one, and that when they, in that sense, attack something else, they are also attacking themselves, because they are depriving themselves of access to something that they may need in order for them to sense their own completeness. All right? All right. Proceed.
Thank you. My mom has emotionally broken herself down, and she's building herself back up
Oh, all right.
as a new person.
Yes.
And she's on a few different medications.
Yes.
And she would love to be off of them.
Oh, all right.
And I'm wondering, with these circuits, is that something that would help?
It can, again, along with the idea of thorough detoxification of the system and the ingestion of those things that would add the appropriate nutrients into the system to allow for better alignment and more capability of the body to heal itself in a variety of ways, and more capability to receive higher energies that can also assist in that healing.
And on my end, I get to be very pushy in my...
You do not need to be pushy.
How can I help her without being pushy?
By simply setting an example and offering suggestions and offering ideas and techniques as we offer them to you. We do not push these things on you. We simply offer them as gifts and opportunities and help by explaining them to you and offer suggestions for how they can be used. But we also love you unconditionally enough to allow you to make the choice to not use them at all.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
it is by that offering that we actually allow the best opportunity and the best vibration for you to finally choose to do what is most beneficial for yourselves. Because by insisting that you do it a certain way, by insisting that you take our advice, we are only then feeding your negative energy. Because we are giving you negative energy of our own. You understand?
Absolutely. My other question is about out of body.
Yes.
I've taken some classes, and because my energy shifts really quickly, and when I need to get out of my body, I have to be at complete still.
Yes.
It always starts from my right hip I start to leave, but because I get excited, I bring myself back in.
Oh, all right.
Is there some kind of stuck energy on my right hip that I can release so I can do this?
Why not go out of your left?
It just happens that way. I don't try to.
What is it you get excited about?
I'm just a very excited person. My energy, my frequency shifts really fast.
Yes.
So it's just an exciting feeling that I feel when it starts to leave.
Being that you are operating on that frequency, how do you know you haven't actually made the whole trip and just experienced yourself leaving and coming back?
I don't.
Think about it that way and see what happens.
Okay.
It will alter your perception sufficiently to allow you more cognizance of the trips you actually are taking, but you're only perceiving the beginning and the ending of.
Wow.
You see, you have an assumption.
Yes.
That the trip must be experienced within a certain kind of time frame, when in fact that kind of a trip actually takes no time at all.
Okay.
So by allowing yourself to know the trip has actually been taken and that you're only experiencing the beginning and ending of it when you come back, you'll begin to allow yourself to recollect the details of the experience out of your body.
Oh, wow.
All right?
One last question. I thank you. Yesterday when you were speaking with a lady who needs to move to Santa Monica,
Yes.
you were talking about a window of opportunity that opens up when you start to move energy towards a certain manifestation.
Yes.
And if I have access to every reality possible, why should that window ever close?
The idea is that, yes, you all fundamentally, potentially have access to all realities possible, but you really only access the ones that are in probability relatively relevant to the reality that you're experiencing here, because you don't need the ones that are not immediately relevant. So even though you have a connection, you don't necessarily download information from all possible realities, because a lot of that information simply isn't relevant.
Okay, so you do actually open up a window of opportunity when you start running energy towards a certain, and then at some point it ends, like that window closes.
Those windows are relatively finite to give you the opportunity to learn from them and adapt to them in a certain way. It is entirely possible for an individual to open up a window and then close that window without having taken any advantage that was offered in that window and come to the end of the life without actually having acted on that opportunity.
So how can I recognize when a window has closed so I can move on to another, creating another
That happens
manifestation?
automatically if you are following your highest joy.
Okay.
You understand? If you are not following your highest joy, you will also understand when opportunities have, in a sense, passed you by.
Yes.
You will find that your reality will simply rearrange itself to allow for a different kind of perspective and a different kind of timing to afford you a different kind of window in another timing. These things are automatically driven by your highest vibration because it is the automatic organizer of your life.
Thank you.
Thank you. So synchronicity will show you when the windows are opened or closed.
Okay.
It will be based on what happens in those windows. For example, in the case that you are referring to with that other woman, the idea is that in that timing she sought our advice. We offered our suggestion and thus represented to her at that moment the opening of the window. In her decision to not act on that advice, it started, in a sense, a clock that began to tick to where the window began to close slowly. Her reality showed her that the window was closing by the synchronicity in her life, creating situations where she was forced to not be able to stay where she said she wanted to stay. So even though she didn't move where we suggested to, she could not stay in the place she wanted to stay by the synchronicity in her own reality, which showed her that there was a finite amount of time to act upon that window. Because the more she refused to move from that spot for a variety of reasons she created, the deeper, in a sense, her struggle became. You understand?
Yes.
And it is the depth of that struggle, the increasing depth of that suffering that showed her that the window of opportunity was closing and narrowing and tightening. So, not letting herself get to the end of that window, she once again came into discussion with us to allow us to remind her of the opportunity and that the window hadn't yet completely closed, but that it had almost closed. So her higher self gave her the opportunity to recognize, again through synchronicity, when the end of the window was approaching by having that dialogue with us.
Okay.
So those kinds of things will occur in your reality to show you exactly where those windows are and how long they last.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, Bashar.
And you good day.
I'd like to thank you for this gift today.
We thank you also for allowing us to share.
I had a question regarding the circuitry that you're sharing with us today. As we do these exercises, as you outlined earlier.
Yes.
And we're rewiring our brain.
Yes.
When it comes to the actual water itself, the water molecules in the brain, is that also changing the informational panels?
All of it is changing. The chemistry is changing, the physiology is changing, the electrical patterns are changing, all of it is changing.
So as we change these patterns...
Remember that it's happening that way all the time. Every thought you have changes the neurological wiring of your brain, the chemical constituency of your brain, the electromagnetic patterns of your brain. Every thought changes the wiring. It's just that these circuits are designed to change it according to a specific focus, to crystallize certain ideas in a certain way. But you're always changing the wiring. We're just taking advantage of that plasticity to allow you to know you can imprint certain patterns within that plasticity that do have some degree of duration, in the sense that you can learn how to constantly recreate that pattern in the new you and enhance that pattern in specific ways in the constant new you that you are becoming.
Okay.
So you're not learning how to rewire your brain. You are learning how to rewire your brain in a certain way that creates a certain kind of continuity in the new yous you create every moment, to enhance your ability to expand your awareness of who you really are and what you really are as a creator.
So as we focus on these diagrams,
yes,
what I'm feeling is what we're actually really doing is moving or realigning the circuits within our brain that are more in alignment with the core fundamental frequency, unconditional love of energy.
Yes.
What is the fundamental frequency of unconditional love of energy that as it translates into our reality?
That is simply the nature of existence itself.
So it cannot be translated into an actual frequency. If we were to try to look at that frequency of vibrational frequency.
Well, I do not believe you actually have a number named that high in your language. As we explained last night of your time, even the border of what you call the spirit reality and the physical reality, what we call the eidolonic field and the tertiary matrix, even the border of the spirit reality has a frequency vibration so high it is measured in trillions, in quintillions of moments per second. But there is a number, in a sense, but it has no name, that could represent the frequency that you're talking about. But in some senses, for all intents and purposes, it is best simply labeled as an infinite frequency. Because for all intents and purposes, from your perspective, it is infinite. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. That answers my question completely. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Galactic greetings, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. The question I have is regarding these shapes on the paper here.
Yes.
What I like to do is I'm definitely going to play with the visualization process and the flashcards, etc.
All right.
But a variable that I want to play with is I enjoy creating tonal vibration out of sacred geometry, crop circles, etc. As I was wondering if maybe if you could describe maybe the tones or the tonality of each shape.
No, you're going to find that out when you play.
Okay.
We're not going to do your homework for you.
All right, no, I understand.
All right.
I just thought I'd ask about a variable of that. I mean, I guess for the most part, that was really my only question.
No, all right.
Well, maybe...
You have a statement instead?
I don't have a statement.
Oh,
but
all right.
One other question.
Just remember, as a refresher to all of you, many times more information is capable of being accessed by us for you when you make statements instead of asking questions. Hint, hint.
Gotcha.
Because you are then opening doorways that the question doesn't open, but the statement does.
Got it. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, Bashar.
And you good day.
Thank you very much for being here. You have been a blessing in my life, and I truly am grateful for it.
We thank you. And we are also always expressing an attitude of gratitude to all of you for allowing us to participate in your reality in this way.
First, I would like to share that yesterday, the process of receiving the answers immediately is something that has come to be very much integrated with my life. And a lot of times I would think of a question I would like to ask Bashar, but I already know the answer. And
yes.
For example, yesterday when you were referring to the quanta of time,
yes,
I already sort of, when the question was asked, I got the word Planck.
All right, very good.
Downloaded, and when you were describing Planck length, I immediately made the connection that it would be the time, the quanta of time would be the time that it would take the speed of light to travel the Planck length.
Which is Planck time. Yes.
Just before you said it, so it was
yes.
Really
and this
cool,
is why we
basically.
said your scientists actually know, shall we say, the size of the weave, if you will, of spirit reality. It is that fundamental distance. The Planck length is the actual weave pattern of spirit reality. What we call the eidolonic field. Electromagnetheric energy, the electromagnetheric template that forms the basis, that forms the fundamental foundation for physical reality, which is laid upon it, is actually that weave, that distance. So they have understood this, but not in the way we understand it, not from the perspective we understand it from.
I see. So in further exploration of this scientific intuition, I was wondering when I saw these sacred circuits.
Yes.
For example, I received, not received, but I imagined the center, for example, symbol number 1, the center, with the circle in the center. I imagine the mathematical function sine of 1 over x.
All right.
Which is a wave that approaches the 0 point and explodes in vibration.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that was relevant or if I was
Yes, of course it's relevant, because it's relevant to you. Remember, we said, your imagination is keyed specifically to your vibration, therefore the way your imagination interprets it is specific to what will work best for you.
Great.
All right.
That's exciting. And
yes.
Which segues to my next question.
Yes.
And this relates to what the facilitator spoke of, remembering encounters.
Yes.
I have a very vivid imagination.
Yes.
And
you actually all do.
No doubt. But some of the encounters what would be the word? I
conjure up.
Okay. In my past.
Yes.
I conjure up in my past are too wild for me to... my question is, how do I discern between what is the fancy of my imagination and what actually occurred?
And the answer would be, don't try. The point is not exactly the specifics of what occurred, because sometimes it can be a symbolic interpretation of what occurred, because that's the way and the only way your mind can understand it or interpret it, or is there some reason, some meaning in the symbols for you that you need to glean. It can be screen memories, it can be many different things other than what literally happened. So the point is not to exactly always need to discern exactly the way it happened, because sometimes those things don't even translate into your reality. The point is, what do you get out of it? What effect does it have on you? How do you wish to interpret it? How do you wish to apply the idea of the experience in your reality? That's really the point of any such conjuring, any such imagining. If there is a reason, if there is a purpose for you to understand it more specifically, then synchronicity in your life will bring you that understanding. Otherwise, focus on the idea of the intent behind that experience rather than attempting to overanalyze exactly how it happened, because sometimes how those things happen don't even translate into your physical reality, which is often why they're cloaked in symbology that seems outlandish, because that's the closest interpretation your physical mind can make to something that didn't even happen in physical reality as you know it.
That makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bashar.
You are welcome. What is your time frame?
It's, we have probably about 15 minutes.
What a coincidence. 15 minutes.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Last year, October, I watched a movie that brought a painful change in my life. Or at the beginning, it was painful.
Movie named?
Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
And I'm sorry if I get emotional. But
oh, you do not need to apologize for your emotions. It is very good for you to release. For only in release can you acknowledge and thus align and transform.
It felt like a different life, and that's probably true because we change every moment, as you mentioned.
Yes.
I was very scared during the day, but even more scared at night of being alone.
Oh, all right.
And I thought that...
You know why you were scared at night?
I think that I was feeling some sort of energy, and I was, before that time...
You said you were scared of being alone.
Yes.
You were scared because you knew you were not alone.
And that's what scared me, because the movie was, they were not alone.
Then in fact, you would actually welcome being alone.
I what? Sorry?
You would actually welcome being alone.
Yeah.
Because you're actually scared that you're not alone.
So when I felt energy...
Did that completely go over your head?
I guess so.
You said you were scared to be alone.
Yes.
But you're not.
Right.
You are scared you're not alone.
So I don't want to...
So that means that you are not scared of being alone.
I'm wondering if I was being contacted by my higher self or some spirits, or I just labeled it as ghost or demon so I don't have to explore more on it.
All of you are going to become more sensitive to the fact that there are other life forms interpenetrating your reality all the time. And as you pick up on the idea of these other life forms, they may turn out to be a variety of things that are coming and going. The point really is to understand that if you know that this is natural as part of your expansion, and that the only fear you're feeling is the fear of your own energy expressing beliefs and definitions you're holding on to that are out of alignment with your true self, then you will understand that there is nothing to fear out there. Because nothing can in any way, shape, or form affect you that you do not agree to be affected by. So the idea is that as you simply become more aware of the fact that there are comings and goings in a variety of nature of beings passing through hither, thither, and yon in your reality, you can simply allow your curiosity to expand as to what they may be, while at the same time allowing yourself a sense of attached detachment to know that whatever is not compatible with your preferred vibration cannot have any effect on you. And if you remain in the vibration of your preference, then they, in a sense, will not see you. You will be as invisible to them as they have formerly been to you.
How do I make sure that I stay in that mindset?
By not worrying that you have to make sure you're going to stay in it.
Okay.
By worrying that you have to make sure you're going to stay in it, you don't stay in it.
That makes sense. And
thank you. You see how simple this is? Let it be obvious. Right. This is the science of the obvious. That's all this is. Once you understand, once you all truly understand the nature of the structure of existence, then everything becomes obvious. It becomes obvious that everything is here and now. It becomes obvious that reincarnation is actually simultaneous, multiple, synchronous incarnation. It becomes obvious that the vibratory level that you prefer is simply the vibratory level that you're on at that moment, and that anything not compatible with that vibratory level will not be capable of finding you or affecting you in any way that you don't agree to be affected by, since all things are by agreement. Now, yes, we understand that sometimes you can make unconscious agreements that you're not consciously aware of to attract things to yourself, but that's only for the purpose of pointing out to you that you have made unconscious agreements with the beliefs that you have. So when that spirit points it out to you by instilling, in a sense, or activating the fear within you, you can say, "Thank you, Spirit, for showing me I had a belief that was out of alignment with my truth." And thus that formerly fearful spirit becomes someone who is a helpmate to you and can go on its way, because it has now triggered within you what it needed to trigger, and it has done its job and no longer needs to hang around. You follow?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does. Does that help you?
It helps a lot. It helps a lot. The other question I had is, I was looking at this diagram, and the one that's called ACT really stood out to me.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if maybe I'm at a spot in my life where I need to act on all the information that I've gathered, because I've gathered a lot of information.
Well, now that you have wondered it aloud, you can turn that into, you know that that's the case.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes, it does. It all makes sense. When you understand the nature of the structure, it all makes sense. And that's the thing that is so wonderful about discovering beliefs that are not aligned with your true self. The minute you identify a belief that is out of alignment with your true self, it will not make sense. That's how you know it doesn't belong. It no longer makes sense. And thus, because it no longer makes sense, it's easy to just let it go, because you can't see, once you identify it, how it fits. It just doesn't belong. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense in your matrix. So you just let it go. That's why identification is the key. The only time a negative belief or a belief that is out of alignment with your true self can exist within your consciousness is when it remains unconscious. As soon as it becomes conscious, it doesn't make sense. And you can let it go. If you hold on to it, it's because you have another belief that is unconscious that says you must. So find out what that belief is. And when that belief is identified, it will also not make sense. And it will go away. And any other belief that is connected to it will dissolve. You follow?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Then pleasant dreams to you.
Thank you. Much love. Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
I know you. Good day.
It's great to be here with you again. I would like to have a better understanding of the relationship between the circuits in the brain and beliefs.
Yes.
Meaning, my thought was...
circuits of the brain will take their cue first and foremost from the beliefs and definitions that you have been taught to be true.
Okay, so the beliefs in a way are crystallized.
Yes.
Okay, in the brain circuitry.
Absolutely.
And through the sacred circuits that you just shared,
yes,
and the process that you suggested,
we help you melt your brain.
Okay.
Allow it to become more plastic, more malleable, to relax those crystallized circuits that do not serve you, and re-imprint them and reform them with circuit paths that do.
So by that process, we also have an impact on the belief systems. Yes. Meaning that belief systems are,
yes,
in a way, crystallized in the brain, but also through this process, by shifting the circuits in the brain, we are at the same time
shifting the circuits in the brain, it will bring to your attention beliefs that don't fit and allow you the opportunity to process and integrate those beliefs and transform them into something that is more in alignment with the circuitry you are now creating.
Okay, so the processing of the beliefs is always need to be a cognitive process?
To some degree, yes. It can sometimes seem as if there is no cognitive process involved, but that's simply because you may be operating at a very high frequency where you're processing so fast that you don't even realize you're doing it. Yeah. At first, however, it may be a cognitive process.
Okay, okay. And regarding also connecting with last night's conversation about shifting power realities.
Yes.
What holds us into the illusion of continuity are the beliefs that we have agreed to buy into.
Yes.
So it seems that to be able to shift to a totally different power reality where there's a break in the continuity, a creative break in the continuity.
Yes.
I would also need to release or disengage those beliefs that until now have kept me in a continuity.
Yes, some of them. You will not release all of them as long as you decide to still continue in your general physical reality experience. Some of them will be maintained to form a background. But you can release many of the things you have been taught to form that break so that you can experience a greater shift in the idea of the continuity or discontinuity from one shift to another.
So how to identify or because let's say I start picturing and envisioning a power reality where I want to jump into, so to speak.
Yes.
And what could be the process to then, okay, let me go through the beliefs that I would have to shift.
Look at the typical ideas that many of you have about the kinds of things you think you need to do to allow change to occur. I would like to do this. This is representative of my joy. But in order to do this, I must do, everyone knows you have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if I don't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I will never be able to do the thing I really love to do. So it's about getting in touch with the beliefs that say you have to do all of those things and finding out perhaps if you can at least reduce them by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, until such time as you find you can simply not reduce them any further, and then whatever is left tells you what is truly important for you to experience as a process, so that by that process you will have the ability to appreciate in the appropriate way what it is that thus then comes to you by that magnetic attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense?
Oh, totally, yes.
All right.
Okay.
This is what we have described before as the exercise called the threshold of believability. You ask yourself, well, how long do I really believe it will take for this change to occur? Do I believe that I, with my present belief system, can facilitate this change in 10 years? Yes, no problem, no hesitation whatsoever. That's easy as pie, as you humans like to say. But then when you go down the scale, do I believe I can make this change within 7 years? Yes, no problem. Do I believe I can make it within 5 years? Maybe. The second you start to hesitate to answer yes, any hesitation tells you exactly how long the process will take with your current belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can ask yourself, well, what would I have to believe is true in order for it to take that long? And you can start examining what those definitions and beliefs are. And when you find out which ones are nonsensical, which ones don't belong in alignment with you, and transform it and let it go, and take the test again, you may then breeze right through the 5-year scale. Oh yes, now with my new belief and my new understanding, I can see how it is more than possible for me to have allowed that to come into my life within 5 years, within 3 years, no problem, within 2 years, no problem, within a year. And then take the test again and find out what beliefs are making it take that long. When you can reduce the time no further, that's the amount of time it needs to take for you to fully appreciate the process, because the process itself will actually give you more ability to appreciate and utilize the thing that you are actually attracting, the thing you're actually shifting into.
I get it.
Make sense?
Totally. What about using the sacred circuits after the 3-day period of,
yes.
With intentionality? Because
yes.
The way I understood the process that you suggested is basically to be with them, to see them, and
yes,
just be
for
there.
the first 3 days.
Okay, but then
and
after...
then you will start to develop your own relationship with them in whatever way your imagination so desires that you feel you are most attracted to develop.
Okay.
Again, they will start talking to you. 1 will stand out. 2 will stand out. Maybe they say, hey, combine us this way. Hey, try this. You'll see.
Okay.
Play with it.
Okay. And I had the idea of creating posters with them.
Yes.
And I envisioned, putting them in my environment. But then you said about you not suggesting to use them more than 3 times a day or whatever. Is there a risk of overloading my system, so to speak?
In a sense, it's not so much overloading really as it is simply the inability to process more in a given time frame. Mm-hmm. So you can call it an overload. Really, it's just being inefficient. It's like pouring water into a glass, and when the water has reached the top, you keep pouring, and the water spills out all over the place. Mm-hmm. Just fill the glass and drink what's there. Then you can fill it again and drink what's there. Then you can fill it again and drink what's there. Eventually, you can use a larger glass and fill that and drink it, but you also don't want to become waterlogged. Otherwise, there's no point.
Great. Thank you very much, Bashar.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hello, Bashar.
I know you. Good day.
I appreciate the opportunity.
And so do we.
Great. You sort of answered my question, or began to answer my question, but
all right.
I've heard you say before that circumstances and situations don't matter. Only states of being matter.
Yes, and what that basically means is that circumstances do not generate your state of being. Your state of being generates your circumstances. Circumstances are just an outer illusion.
Right, okay, so...
They can be used to reinforce your state of being, if you wish, as a reflection, but they don't actually generate it. You generate it.
Okay, so how do you miss an opportunity then? Or how does an opportunity close?
An opportunity closes by being unwilling to act on it. Because again, as we said, things don't stick around if you don't use them. It's sort of based on your saying on earth, use it or lose it.
Can you get off of like your correct path by not taking advantage of an opportunity, or is there always another way?
In some senses, yes. You cannot ultimately really be on an incorrect path, because there is always going to be a point in your existence where you will learn from whatever experience you chose to have. All we are talking about really is the window of what you call your physical life. And the idea is that you can actually miss an appointment by spending your life worrying that you will miss your appointments. That's the paradox. And so at the end of that life, you may look back, as you say, and say, well, gee, I didn't have to do it that way. I could have done this. I could have acted on that. Again, the idea is that you can take as many chances and many turns as you wish from your perspective, so you haven't really lost anything. There's always something to learn, and you can learn perhaps from that you don't necessarily have to hesitate, that you don't necessarily have to be afraid of those opportunities, and then, quote unquote, the next time, you may act on them more quickly and recognize them for what they are. So nothing is ultimately lost in the overall path, but we are talking about that finite experience called physical reality, where you can actually choose to ignore your own signals for the entire duration of the lifetime, but that in and of itself can be a lesson learned later in spirit. You understand?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Remember that when we say you really have the freedom to choose, no matter how much your higher mind may urge you, your physical mind has been given free will. No matter how much your spirit may have created a kind of path or destiny, you still have the free will to completely ignore it. Now, you may struggle in doing so, but if you're stubborn enough, you can actually spend your entire life in pain by ignoring the signals that you're giving yourself. And you can die in that suffering.
Is your highest excitement always going to point you in the direction of those windows of opportunity?
Always. Always. That's what it does. That's its nature. It is the compass needle. Your higher mind, your higher vibration is the unerring compass needle that always points toward whatever at that moment is your true north, your magnetic north. So if you trust the thread of excitement, regardless of how it looks, regardless of how circuitous the path may seem, but you trust that it is that feeling that actually represents the straightest, shortest path, the path of least resistance, then you will be happy to walk whatever shape that path takes, knowing that it is giving you that shape for a reason. Perhaps you are actually avoiding potholes by walking in that way. Whereas if you insist on going straight, you may fall into hole after hole after hole, because you, as the physical mind, are down in the valley. The higher mind is up on the hilltop, going, go left, go left, go left! Oh.
Right.
Fell into another hole. All right, climb out of the hole, I'll wait. Oh, all right, now, was that fun? All right, now, go this way, now, go right, go right, go right. Oh. You get the point?
Yes, I do.
All right. Does that help?
how would you suggest deciphering the difference between following your excitement and immediate gratification, or something that seemed, like being...
If you are really deeply honest with your own self-assessment, you can always tell the difference between the vibration called excitement and the negative counterpart, which you call anxiety. Impatience, anxiety, those kinds of things are actually quite clear if you are simply able to take a moment to make a self-discerning assessment of what your energy is and what your reasons are for taking the actions that you take. If you really just take an honest snapshot of yourself and why you do the things you do, you can all tell the difference. It's not that hard. It's not that mysterious. You just have to be honest in your self-assessment about why you do what you do. And take a moment to figure that out and not be in such a headlong rush. Remember that by staying in the vibration of your highest truth, all of the things that need to come to you will come to you as instantly as they possibly can in the best way possible for you. There is no more thing that can come in a more instant way than that which comes according to the path that is the path of least resistance. So even if something takes a little time, the fact that you are in that state means you're enjoying whatever's going on right now and are not impatient for anything else to happen. Because what's happening right now is the most magnificent thing that could possibly be happening. So why do you need anything else to happen? And when you stay in that state, then everything else happens. Remember, if you don't stay where you actually are, then nothing that you actually want can find you. Because you're not home. Because you only exist here and now. But when you create the illusion of focusing on the past, focusing on the future, worrying about this, worrying about that, that which could come to you naturally and effortlessly has no place to anchor because you're not home. So stay home. And everything will come to your home. By doing the things, by taking the actions that are truly representative of who you really are, everything that happens in the next moment is exactly what needs to happen. And if you treat it that way and respond to it that way, everything else falls into place automatically. And it's home sweet home. All right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And now we would like to extend to each and every one of you a fond and exciting nourishment break. And we will resume this transmission afterwards. Enjoy.